we worked on the trails, we built stairs on the trails. It's all about maintaining the trail, making sure that people can enjoy it for years to come. So it's really nice to go back and visit and be like, oh, I built those stairs. How cool is that to see these other people hiking on these steps and all of this hard work that I put into it.
Welcome to the Are You Happy podcast, where we spotlight changemakers dedicated to creating a happier and healthier world. So today we are honored to have here Maggie, Manager of Communication at the American Hiking Society. Maggie, thank you for joining us. So
Thank you for having me.
to start off, could you just introduce yourself and tell us a bit about the American Hiking Society? And I will also love to hear more about your current role with the organization and what your day-to-day involves.
Sure. So yes, I'm Maggie Peikon. I'm the Manager of Communications at American Hiking Society. I'll give you the little elevator pitch of who we are. We are the only nationwide organization that brings together trail stewardship, advocacy, and community to make hiking more accessible for everyone. Through our national reach and local partnerships, we preserve and enhance America's trails while expanding outdoor access. And we unite a diverse group of voices and inspire action to create a more equitable and sustainable hiking future.
Thank you
So
so
as the
much.
manager of communications, I do a lot of obviously communications internally and externally to our partners and to our audience and community of hikers and outdoorists and trail
Mhm.
users of all kinds through social media, our email newsletter, and of course, podcasts and things like this.
Everything that is included in marketing. So,
Yes.
so Maggie, what inspired you to pursue a career in communication with the outdoor and nonprofit sectors, and how did your path lead you to the American Hiking Society?
Yeah, so I've always found grounding and perspective in nature, especially on the trail. It wasn't really until I moved away from my life in New York City and Long Island that I fully immersed myself in mountain life during a move to Colorado, and I really started to spend more and more of my time on the trails. So it didn't take long before I realized just how deeply important access to public lands and trails are, not just for personal wellness, but for community and connection as well. So when the opportunity arose to join American Hiking Society, it felt like a really natural extension of that realization. And I
Mhm.
wanted to be a part of an organization that was doing the work on the ground to help preserve and steward the places that have given so much to me and ensure that others could experience the same sense of belonging and joy in the outdoors.
It must be very difficult moving from New York to this kind of how you work right now and the situation and everything. So
It's a
can
big change.
Yeah, exactly. So can you share a moment or experience that solidified your commitment to promoting hiking and outdoor experiences?
A lot of, so within the organization, you mean?
Yeah, I mean within the organization.
Yeah, I would say a lot of my favorite stories and most inspirational stories come from our volunteer vacations and our alternative breaks programs. So those are opportunities for people to take a week or weekend to get out on the trails and partake in trail stewardship projects. Our alternative break program is specific for college students. So for a lot of them, it's their first time on the trail. And oftentimes for both volunteer vacations and alternative breaks, it's a lot of people's first times doing trail stewardship work to begin with.
Hmm.
So participants often tell us that joining a trail stewardship trip not only gave them a new appreciation for how trails are built and maintained, because it's a lot of work,
Yeah,
but it also
exactly.
completely changed how they viewed themselves and what they're capable of. So oftentimes people show up to our volunteer vacation solo as well, not totally sure of what to expect from the experience, and they leave with this really renewed sense of confidence, and new friendships are formed through that hard work and the vacation part of the volunteer vacations as well. And it's really just creates this lasting connection to the land and the trails that they love to explore and that they had a personal hand in helping to preserve. So it really reminds me that trail work isn't just about the physical path. It has a lot to do with personal growth and our purpose and connection to those trails as well.
Yeah, so let's just understand now the organization's impact on the mission was exactly. So the organization mission is to empower all to enjoy, share, and preserve the hiking experience. So could you
Yes.
elaborate on how this missions translate to the real world impact?
Yeah, so we do that through our various programs, like our
Mm-hmm.
volunteer vacations to help improve access and, of course, maintain trails across the country. And our National Trails Day event, which is actually happening on Saturday,
Yeah.
this Saturday, June 7th, which is the first Saturday in June every year. This is our 33rd annual. And
How is
that's
the
a really
organization and everything? Like, do you have everything prepared?
Yeah, everything's prepared. There are events in all 50 states across the country. It's a really exciting day where people can get outside, whether it's your first hike or your
Hmm.
100th. It's a really great day to bring more access to the trails, make people feel more welcome to experience the trails, whether, like I said, it's their first time or their 100th
Yeah.
time getting out there.
Do you have any exact number of how many people are going to be there or no?
Yes, so preliminary numbers. We still
Yeah,
have
yeah,
to
I
wait
mean,
until
yeah,
after the
yeah.
event, but there should be about 60,000 people partaking in National Trails Day across the country. And that also includes a lot of trail stewards and trail volunteers because
Hmm.
National Trails Day, in addition to having group hikes and things like that, it's also very focused on trail stewardship. So there's a lot of trail stewardship events happening across the country that people are going to join. So
Hmm.
over 60,000 people will be out there. So it's a great day to get on the trails.
So also you have the volunteer vacation. So the volunteer vacations program offers individuals the chance to contribute to trail maintenance and preservation. Can you describe how this program works and its significance this program have?
Yeah, so we have about 35 events, I believe, across the country again, nationwide from
A
coast to
lot of
coast.
events, I can
A
say
lot of
that.
events. And like I said, they are weekend or week long. So we know that people
Hmm.
don't always have enough time to take off of work to take a week long vacation. So there are weekend options as well. And they're in beautiful destinations across the country where people can go and give back to the trails. I joined one recently last fall in Moab, Utah, and we worked on the trails. We built stairs on the trails. It's all about maintaining the trail, making sure that people can enjoy it for years to come. So it's really nice to go back and visit and be like, oh, I built those stairs. How cool is that to see these other people hiking on these steps and all this hard work that I put into it? So,
Hmm.
from American Hiking Society side, the entire vacation is organized for you. All of your meals are planned, what you're going to be doing throughout the day. There are a few times, of course, where you have your downtime. It is a vacation. So, those are the days that you're meant to go explore the area, go on your own hikes, and just have some fun.
Yeah, exactly. That's really good. So, let's just talk about advocacy and the policies that you have. So, the AHS works with Congress and federal agencies also to shape public policy
Mhm.
affecting hiking. Could you discuss some recent advocacy efforts and their impact?
Yeah. This year and every year we have an event called Hike the Hill where we go to DC and we advocate for trail access and trail funding. And this year, of course, I'm sure many people are aware of, trail funding was a very important topic to talk about and to advocate for. And we bring statistics and real life experience, being that we're on the trails and we're helping to improve them, to explain why trail funding is so important. National parks, BLM lands. I mean, they get so many visitors throughout the year and they need that access so that people can safely get on the trail. So, trail funding is so important for so many reasons. Of course, recreation being one of them, but to help preserve those natural spaces as well.
Also, the organization has made some commitment to JEDI principles. So, how does the organization work to ensure that hiking is accessible and welcoming to all the communities?
Yeah, that's really important to us. And one of the
Yeah,
really cool things that we do around National Trails Day specifically is that we have our 2025 National Trails Day micro grant program. That's something that we've been doing for the last few years. So, three community groups or affinity groups or events organized by underrepresented communities are granted $1,500 each in funding to support their events for National Trails Day. It's just a really great opportunity to reduce barriers for underrepresented communities outdoors, to celebrate National Trails Day, which is a day that's so important to bring everybody outside, make the outdoor community better and more welcoming for all. So I'm really excited this year about our 2025 recipients.
let's just go now through some personal experiences and stories that you might have. So, based
Sure.
on in your role, you have likely encountered many inspiring stories. I know that, but can you just share a memorable moment that highlights the transformative power of hiking? Like what hiking is good for people and why we should do that and stuff like that.
Yeah, I mean, there's so many stories. And during Mental Health Month, which was May, so last month, we highlighted stories that our community shared with us about how the trails have impacted their mental health in a positive way. And a lot of people talked about COVID and what a challenge that time period was, especially during quarantine, and how getting outdoors was one of the
Yeah.
safer ways that you could do something, and how much hiking really improved that experience for a lot of people. There are so many stories that I could share. They're on our blog if anybody wants to read
Hmm.
them. But seeing how pivotal time on the trails has been to other people's mental health has really been inspiring and motivational for me as well. It's something that I personally have experienced as well, and I think that people also should realize that hiking doesn't have to be this rugged, insane adventure. You know, you can walk out your door, put on a pair of sneakers, go for a walk, and call yourself a hiker. We want that to be an accessible
Yeah.
title for everybody.
Yeah.
So if you're looking for a way to disconnect, get off your screen, reconnect with yourself and the world around you, going for a hike or a walk down the street is the perfectly great way to do that.
Since you mentioned COVID time, how did the organization on the COVID time work and keep that balance between hiking and working and stuff like that, and organizing events and everything? Did you organize any events or nothing at all based on the COVID time?
I wasn't a part of the organization
Oh,
during COVID times, but we were a remote team. We still are a remote team.
mm-hmm,
So I think probably there was a pause or some special
mm-hmm.
protocols that had to be followed for COVID purposes. So I imagine some of the trips were changed or adjusted to work around those new parameters that everyone had to work within. But I can't speak 100% to that as
Yeah,
I was not
yeah.
part of the organization during that time.
Totally understandable. Based on the local communities, how does the organization engage with the local communities to promote hiking and trail preservation?
Yeah, so I mean, we speak on a national level just by communicating through social media or email newsletter. Obviously, on the local level, I would put it back to National Trails Day again, as there are so many
Hmm.
events happening on the local level for community members to join. I know community libraries are even getting involved, state parks, things like that. So I would say National Trails Day is one of the biggest ways that we can kind of dig in more on a local level to get people excited about the trails, to leave them better than they found them, to have a positive impact on the trails, picking up a piece of trash, picking up after your dog. These
Hmm.
are all ways that you can be a trail steward. So,
Hmm.
National Trails Day is probably one of our biggest events that I would say that we can touch on a more local level.
So before organizing an event, do you research for any new trails or anything like that, or you already have the trails and you just do the events there?
For volunteer vacations or for
Yeah, I,
National
I
Trails
mean
Day
whatever that you
specifically?
need to organize.
So volunteer vacations are done in partnership with our partners, so like the BLM, the Forest Service, National Park Service,
Oh,
and
okay.
they'll coordinate with us to let us know, okay, these are the trail projects that we have. These are the trails that could really use some love after Hurricane Helene. There were some specific trails that needed some love for cleanup after that. So it was a lot of coordination between our partners and us to ensure that the trails that really need it are getting the help that they need.
Hmm. Hmm. So let's just look more ahead and then let's talk for some future goals. What are the organization's strategic priorities moving forward, and how can the listeners contribute to these goals?
Yeah, so we're currently celebrating 50 years of American Hiking Society, which is amazing. So we're using that milestone to just double down on our vision for a future where everyone has access to safe, well-maintained trails. And of course, we want everyone to feel empowered to help preserve them through hands-on stewardship opportunities and advocacy work like our programs, Volunteer Vacations, Hike the Hill. Those are open to the public to come and join us. We're also gearing up for America's 250th birthday. So we've got big plans to elevate trail stewardship and engagement around that. Whether
Hmm.
it's joining a volunteer vacation, hosting, or attending a National Trails Day event, like I said, it's this Saturday. I'm not sure when this goes live to the public, but if it's before then that's a great time for people to come and find an event. Or you can just learn how to be a more impactful trail advocate. We have a great newsletter, a great blog. We're very active on social media.
Hmm.
We're sharing tips all the time. Everyone can play a role in helping to protect and preserve the trails and public lands. And we hope to make that a very accessible journey for them.
What's about the next Gen Trail leaders? Like the next Gen Trail Leaders program aims to cultivate young advocates to public lands. Can you
Mm-hmm.
tell us more about this initiative and its impact? Like, how does this work?
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of just exactly what you said. Each year, American Hike Society brings together about five, I would say, each classes
Hmm.
of young leaders in the outdoor community with diverse identities from across the country. This is another part of our Jedi principles as well. And we provide trainings, mentorship, networking opportunities, trail stewardship opportunities. A lot of our next gen trail leaders this year are hosting National Trails Day events of their own, and professional development as well, and gear stipends to help them get outside with the gear that they need to do it safely.
Yeah.
So our next gen trail leaders are helping to build and refine their advocacy and outdoor leadership experience and skills. And through the program, they have a better platform to learn how to be an impactful trail steward and trail advocate.
What advice would you give to someone aspiring to make a meaningful impact in the outdoor or nonprofit sectors? Based
Specifically
on
as a not in
based on your
nonprofits or
experience, yeah, whatever you want, even nonprofits or outdoor, no problem.
I would just say the work is never done.
Yeah,
um,
exactly.
and I know that that can feel like a long uphill slog, but it's such important work. And it keeps me grounded in the why I keep coming back to the work, the people, the places, the impact that we can make today as we work towards a better future for the trails tomorrow. Um, just to continue with the work, it's important.
Yeah.
That's my best advice that I can give, and try not to get discouraged along the way.
So, last question for our listeners inspired by the American Hiking Society mission. What are some immediate steps that they can take to get involved or support your work on the organization?
Yeah, well, you can follow us on social media on all
Mm-hmm.
channels. We are at American Hiking. It's a great way to learn more about the programs that we have and just being a trail steward. Lots of trail tips if you're new to getting outdoors and on the trails. Of course, donations are always welcome.
Yeah.
We're a nonprofit, so that's really important for us and our growth. Joining a volunteer vacation, joining a National Trails Day event near you, spreading the word, just getting out there and being a good trail steward, cleaning up after yourself, leaving it better than you found it, leave no trace, all those important things.
So, Maggie, thank you. We will put all the information in the show notes for the podcast. I want to thank you again
Awesome.
for taking the time out of your day to share more about what your organization is doing. You are doing a great job. Thank you
Oh,
so
thank you
much.
so much.